Hello everyone and welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely hope everybody is doing amazingly well today. No matter whether this is your first time clicking onto your reading here at Unicorn Light Tarot, welcome, or if you are returning or a brand new subscriber, welcome, welcome one and all. Today we have a wonderful reading, and also we have our beautiful candle here, our beautiful magic candle that's going to oversee and give a little bit extra vavoom to the reading. So today we are concentrating on which gift box has a message for you. These are your gift boxes. So we have pile 1 with the soul coaching oracle cards. We have pile 2 with the unicorn cards. And we have pile 3 self-love cards. Wonderful. And we are asking the question, what new gifts are being revealed to you now? So as always, take as much time as you need. The more you come back into your intuition and you're really clicked in to your own energy source, the more these readings are going to resonate. So if you need to go off, do whatever you need to do to come back to you. Feel free to pause the video. The timestamps will be down below as always. However you choose the cards are obviously very, very personal. The energy, the colors, whatever it is that you need. But again, what new gifts are being revealed to you now? And as always, general disclaimer, these are general readings. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If one pile does not resonate with you, try another pile. Usually the second pile does. If you are on this and clicked onto this reading, normally it's for a reason. So let's get right into these readings, right? So let's do pile 1 here. So if you chose pile 1, the soul coaching oracle card, then what gift is being revealed to you now? So let's start off with this card and see what you have. Beauty. I am deeply and profoundly beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. So let's get you a couple of extra cards and get you some messages here. So first thing that we're picking up for you, pile 1, is the gift of trust coming into your own energy here. And cupcake. Yeah, the body positive card coming back to sort of, you know, sometimes when we're figuring out our spirituality here, what happens is we tend to look into really the internal, which is wonderful. We want to look into the internal aspect of self because that's where a lot of the external can shift too, if not all of it. Our external world is really dependent on our internal world, right? So if our internal world is sort of battling, that's what we're going to see on the external world. And that's what a lot of people have been working with, sort of those tropes, those archetypes, why we're fighting against each other, why we're fighting within ourselves. And those are being resolved, those are being figured out. And that's not a small thing. But at the same time, we often sort of forget about the external, you know, feeling good within ourselves. Again, feeling good within our bodies is absolutely wonderful, but feeling good on the outside too. I am serene no matter what is occurring around me. So this understanding, this gift that you are getting is this gift that you already have, but you're really clicking into, is this gift of profound beauty. Not just being able to see it in everything, even in the chaos, but also being able to see it within yourself. Being able to see every aspect of yourself as beautiful. And this is a really beautiful thing because when you really see that beauty in yourself, there's an essence of peace and an essence of calmness that really clicks into the soul, knowing that everything is happening at the right time. Divine timing is there. You know, really encompassing every aspect of yourself. And then there's just this no need to push anymore. No need to, you become the sort of magnetic self. And this is like not a small thing in any way, shape or form. This is a beautiful way to be. Now, this is, for some of you, have been a long time coming. You've got, yeah, reparenting yourself here. It's been a long time coming because you've done a lot of this work. Yep, you've got self-respect here too. You've done a lot of this work, again, in the spiritual stuff. There's nothing in your energy that would suggest that you have any problem sort of getting into the nitty-gritty of it, right? And getting down into what it is that you need to heal from, like really getting into sort of the dark night of the soul stuff. And you've done this deep, deep healing, but at the same time, as you've done this deep healing, a lot of stuff comes up. A lot of stuff constantly comes up. So for you, it's been constantly where you're unrooting and rooting through everything, unrooting and rooting through everything, and coming to this sort of this foundation, this level where you can be sort of at one with yourself and really acknowledge how far you've come. And when you look back, you can see how far you've come and really appreciate it in the physical form. A lot of you have been really very much working, and you've been constantly working in the spiritual form, which again is really, really important. A lot of you have had a lot of karma, your old souls. None of this is going to be, you know, mind-blowing for you. You already know you're an old soul, a lot of soul contracts, a lot of karma coming up that you needed to work through, especially with the past lives. And this is something that you were really resonating with, and this is something that you actually knew already. And this is something that's been coming up in the collective, like karma coming up, old lives, past lives, looking through soul contracts, really figuring out what you don't need anymore, cutting the cords and being really clear about where you stand in the world. This is something that's been coming up in the collective, sort of in an individual and a collective matter, and also in a global matter in one way or another. We're seeing it through the individual, we're seeing it through politics, we're seeing it through society. A lot of it is falling away, right? And it's falling away whether we want it to or not. It really just is. But it's also falling away within ourselves. So this is something, this is work that you've been doing from way back when anyway. Now it's being supported on a sort of a collective and a global level that's really put an extra emphasis on it. So a lot of stuff has been coming up, and it can be a little overwhelming for some of you insofar as, let's move this back a little bit so you can, I just want to make sure that see the cards properly. So it can be a little bit overwhelming for you. And for some of you, it's like, when is this going to end? Because, you know, something comes up and then you think you've got it, and then something else comes up and something else comes up. So to be able to get to the stage of the gift of beauty, of actually being at this sort of stable place of seeing beauty in everything, because you've come out on the other side of certain aspects of your healing process, and being able to see beauty in yourself, which means that you have the time, the peace, and the energy to actually say, you know what, I'm pretty. And this is not like an egotistical thing, and this is not a small thing either. This understanding that, you know, that you love the way that you look, that, you know, you're really coming in touch with your body. And that's another thing for you, for the tactile element of it, because you were very much in the spiritual sense. Really being connected to your body is something that for a lot of you, you've been coming in and out of. Sometimes you feel very grounded and connected to your body, and sometimes you don't. So this beauty element, feeling beautiful from the inside out and also from the outside too, is a very tactile way for you to be very much in touch with your body, with your physical body, which absolutely pulls you down further into grounding into your first chakra, and again grounding your roots into Mother Gaia. And from that grounded spot, you can really see everything a lot clearer. You can see further into the cosmos, again the macro sense of things, where you can see how everything is sort of playing out. You're not getting caught up in the small arguments or the seemingly petty things or the themes that are going around that don't really work for you anymore. You're really preserving your energy for what you need it for. And that's really important, because there's going to be some big moves for you. So it's important that you keep your energy for you, and you're sort of, and in the past you needed to do that by sort of protecting your energy or coming back into your own sense of self and sort of regrouping and recuperating. But this is a way for you, you don't need to do that anymore. If you feel as though you want to, that's wonderful, but it's not actually necessary for your energy anymore. So that just proves that you've moved in a new direction. Now this beauty thing, this is not a small thing. For some of you, it really goes back deep, maybe even to past lives, but it goes back into really feeling comfortable in your own body and really acknowledging that you are who you are and not trying to shift and change yourself in any way, shape or form, and really utilizing the beauty of who you are. So before, there was an aspect of you working through certain things, so you were busy, you weren't able to do that. And then when you did sort of come up for air, there was a part of you that was always trying to change aspects of your physical self for a lot of you. Trying to, not necessarily trying to fit in, but trying to to figure out how you can feel better about yourself. And it wasn't that you didn't think that you were beautiful or this, that, and the other. It was just honestly that your energy was so engrossed in the sort of the internal that the external didn't really matter to you. And when it did matter, it was just you didn't really know how to work with it. There wasn't enough energy around trying to feel beautiful on the external. So now that you've sort of turned that corner, bringing it all together really solidifies all of the work that you've done before, and this sense of peace and working with exactly who you are right now and loving every part of your body. Now, that's not to say that if you don't want to make some improvements and get a little healthier and do all that, that's all you. That's all you, Pal One, and you will do that on your own terms. But loving where you are right now is an absolute superpower for you because, it grounds you into this energy. And it's sort of the last piece, not necessarily of the puzzle, because you've been doing this puzzle for so long. The puzzle's kind of been finished. But it's the last piece of really understanding what the picture is on the puzzle and how you can stand into your own energy. And because you're at this stage of the physical, of actually saying, I love who I am right now. I love the way that I look, and having fun with that. Your inner child can come in with that sort of wonder. And for some of you, a little bit of a makeover, or deciding that you want to change your wardrobe, or something that for a lot of you would have seemed a little bit preliminary, or just, I'm not going to put energy into that right now. I either don't have the energy to do it, or I don't want to concentrate my energy on that. And now the fact that you're there, already thinking about how you're going to do this, or even small things like how you're going to style your hair or how you're going to do your eyebrows. I mean, really silly things that seemingly are silly, but it's really about celebrating you. It's about celebrating how far you've come, celebrating the body that you have in this lifetime. We've come here to have a human existence, and really acknowledging that this is an absolute sort of beautiful way for you to be, and it really shows you how far you've come. Again, it's not small, and there's nothing passive about it. You've got the third eye chakra, excuse me, that's just literally popped out of the deck. So this is a real way for you to claim the serenity that you have around you, and this way of sort of completing the cycle of complete and total self-acceptance. And once that is done, there's nothing that you cannot do and nothing that you cannot achieve. And also that's really important, because a lot of you have been projected on your entire lives. There's no opinion on the external that's really going to hit home for you. That's not to say that, when people project upon you, you won't have that moment of being a little bit hurt. There's no way of getting around that. We're human, that's fine. This is not about you being a tank and being invincible. This is about you honoring yourself, and when that comes in, honoring how you feel for that small moment, and then releasing it and moving on, right? Instead of taking it in and then all of those little projections that you've had over the years, you've sort of taken it in, and you've wrongly, but we all do this, you've wrongly believed that there was something wrong with you and there's something that you needed to change. Now, you've done that by working through, again, the spiritual aspect of releasing all of the things that you've gone through, all of the healing that you've done, in order to get to the point of really understanding why the projections really hurt, but also, or they have hurt in the past. But getting to this point now where you are so complete, where all of this doesn't matter anymore, and you are ready to stand behind your own energy. And you also understand your own energy too, because sometimes when you've projected, you were still in the thick of doing a lot of the spiritual work. And as you were doing that, a lot of things were in flux. So when people were giving you projections, you were trying to figure out if that's the universe trying to communicate with you in X, Y, and Z. Many times it wasn't. Sometimes a lot of it was just mirroring your own insecurity about being here in this world and trying to figure this all out for yourself. You've had to do a lot of this work yourself. For a lot of you, you didn't have the support, or this grounded support when you needed it, to really understand who you were. It was always, there wasn't a lot of unconditional love in and around all of you. So you had to find that unconditional love for yourself. And that's really what this is. This is pure unconditional love. You've loved yourself conditionally as you've been working through the spiritual aspects of self. And that's That's this is a very human trait. We all do this. Now, to come into this essence of self-respect, to come into this essence of self-acceptance exactly where you are is absolutely beautiful, because this unconditional aspect of love that comes in, that's beautiful. Now, it also means in many ways that once we hit this plateau of where we are in the world, we're able to heal on many different levels, in levels that doesn't require us going in and being deep rooted into everything, right? In levels that are seemingly maybe too easy, but trust them. When there's this level of self-acceptance, and when there's this level of unconditional love for ourselves, and an honoring of our own beauty inside and out, and everything that we've been through, there's nothing that we cannot achieve. So again, this is your superpower here. Don't underestimate it. This is not a passive reading. This is absolutely incredible. And for some of you, you have struggled with how you felt about your own body and how you look. Maybe you're striking, but you're not, you don't sort of fit into the category of what people think is beautiful, but there is an essence of you that is absolutely gorgeous. And we're moving in, we're already into the age of Aquarius, where the standard is falling away. This sort of standard that we've had in social media, in every way that we've lived, that was completely unattainable, right? Because it was doctored to look a certain way, to make us feel bad about certain things so we can buy products and all that other rubbish. All of that is being exposed. It's always been exposed, but now it's at the point where no one's looking away from it. Everybody knows what's going on, the manipulation on every different levels in society, right? So now is the time for everybody to sort of stand in their own beauty and really be able to do that in a supportive way with each other, in a way that really wasn't as possible when we were bombarded constantly with all of these images that were impossible, and it was set up to be an impossible standard, right? So now you get to be in this absolutely gorgeous way of accepting yourself for exactly who you are. Again, this is really, really huge. So your third eye chakra here, the frequency of the third eye, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination and our psychic powers. Absolutely. So as you're moving into this energy, and a lot of you will be in and around this energy already, you might be moving out of some old energy that's coming up. But again, as we say here all the time, don't go down the rabbit hole with that energy. That's just energy that's coming up to be released. So it's really all about you really accepting every level of you and gaining that peace, that beautiful peace. And once you're aligned with that peace, again, the third eye chakra, the heart chakra is all open, the crown chakra is open. And then, life opens up to you in many different ways. Healing opens up to you in many different ways. Your expectations of what happens start shifting. You feel really in control in your everyday life, but at the same time, you've released and aligned with the universe in many ways to be able to bring you what it is that you want. So this is an incredible superpower for you, Pile 1. A lot of you have never been here before. Again, you've done a lot of work on yourself, but to get to this level of self-acceptance, to get to this level of peace, to get to this level of unconditional love is absolutely incredible. Now, a lot of your minds beat yourself up about when you don't have that unconditional love. So can you imagine having that beautiful peace and that power within you where your mind is not constantly looping around, fix this, do that, this is going wrong, this is going wrong in your body, this is going wrong. And actually just be at the stage where you trust your body, you trust yourself. Everything is working. Every cell is working for you. Every cell is working for your highest good. Every cell is helping you heal in many ways on all levels, on the spiritual and on the physical. And that you're exactly where you need to be. You are being protected on every level. Your health, your beauty, everything, as well, obviously the spiritual. And you're in line with your own intuition and your own love. And you're not constantly battling yourself. This is huge. So let's go with the middle of the cupcake here. You've got the Three of Swords. Yeah. It's this really moving past this energy, this intense energy where you're using a lot of that energy. You were using a lot of that energy, losing energy too, with beating yourself up based on what it is that you think you needed to look like, or what it is, or how it is that you needed to be or present yourself into the world, instead of really clicking into that authenticity that you have and trusting and owning it, right? Trusting that it was enough, but you can't trust that it's enough unless you own it. So this is a new level of ownership coming in. So a lot of that betrayal, a lot of that anger that you have within yourself is actually directed to you. And this is something that you can neutralize and release. There's a lot of anger that you've dealt with that was perfectly justified with your past and what you've been through. But this is releasing anger at yourself of feeling this way. So it's this constant cycle of, you know, knowing that you're beating yourself up and feeling bad about it, but not being able to stop it. This cycle ends here. It's shifting through it. You've got the moon. It keeps coming up. You know, as we put this video out, this reading, this is a timeless reading regardless, but we just had the full moon in Taurus and we just had the eclipse, and we're still in that season. We're still in the next 2 weeks of this energy coming up. So more to be revealed to you. And again, as you click into this power that you have, this beautiful, gorgeous power that really clicks in and solidifies with this unconditional love that's coming in, there are some more gifts for you coming in. The gifts of your power, the gifts behind your authenticity is absolutely wild, because what you're going to be able to do and articulate in this lifetime is beyond what we've really seen before. And this is the energy that we need. And once you're clicked 100% into your authenticity and you claim it by releasing all of this other crap from the external that we've all had, by the way, we've all been programmed in this way to look a certain way and act a certain way and whatever, that's all falling away. So, you know, your beef with society, your beef with however you've treated yourself, you are absolutely not alone, and not alone to the degree that you've been doing it too. So you've just been aware of it and been really chipping away at it over the years. And again, through the inside, through the spiritual sense of it. Now you're getting to the point where you can really appreciate the outside too, which is important, because we're here to look a certain way. It's not about egotistical or using your looks, but getting into that mysteriousness which you do have, and the way in which you move. All of that is beautiful. The word sensual keeps coming up too. Really owning all of those gifts in a way. And that's something that's, again, a new level for you to have fun. You know, get back into your own body. You've got strength that's reversed here with the self-respect. And you've got the Knight of Cups. Again, silencing your mind and really working with that unconditional love is something that's been a constant battle for you a little bit. But again, reparenting yourself here, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, there was a lack of sort of, and this would have been in a lot of you. This may not be, this part of it may not be for every single one of you, because it's a general reading, but you lacked the way in which you needed to be in the world. Like when you were growing up, a lot of the people that were in and around you were people that you may have respected because, of course, they were your family members or people that were in and around you. But at the same time, you saw how those people were not fully integrated into the world either. You sensed that. So there was this really weird sort of way that you needed to parent yourself. You needed to learn the things that they hadn't learned. And you were a very sensitive, articulate, brilliant child in a way. So you would have picked up on this energy very, very quickly. So there's a lot of things that you needed to figure out about your emotionality, and the way in people, you know, in and around you as you were growing up express their emotionality may have not been that healthy. So you had to figure this out on your own. You had to figure out how to work with your own betrayal or sense of betrayal. And also you were very hard on yourself when you made a mistake or you didn't reach what you thought you were going to reach. You decimated yourself because you were just so incredibly hard on yourself. You didn't give yourself enough room or time to sort of, to really create this sort of failure, right? And it's not failure. It's just a way where things didn't work out. We learn from them. That's how we learn from them. But you took those really hard on yourself, and you had to work through all of this energy of how hard you were on yourself. Such dense energy of how hard you were on yourself. So to be able to come to this point of this self-acceptance is absolutely beautiful. Claiming your beauty on the inside out, claiming your authenticity, and really honoring exactly where you've been and where you've come from, and honoring and loving yourself unconditionally in this moment sets about this peace that you've never had before. That allows you to move in any different direction and allows you to really click into this all areas of your authenticity, even parts that you haven't quite really worked with yet, which is very exciting. And we've got the the Queen of Cups here, and I've turned it on the right side because I really feel as though that's what this is. This is all coming into the way in which you move in the world, the way in which you gather your quote unquote sort of success, how you see success in the world, how you garner your emotions, how you use your emotionality, how you use your vulnerability, and how you stand in your own energy and make it work for you. And make it work for you in a way that's really, really incredibly powerful. And not just for you, but giving permission to others to be themselves, to honor themselves in this beautiful way. And not in the way that we've done it, in the way that we've done it before in like commercials, or, you know, I love the Dove commercials, but, you know, in a real way, you know, where everybody's standing up and they love themselves no matter what, in a real way, beyond just commercials, that's integrated into the world where everybody can stand in their own energy and see their beauty for what it is, right? And we're not trying to work around these standards of beauty that have been set up for us, again, that are extremely impossible. Even for the people that are representing that beauty, it's still impossible for them. So standing in all of this, again, this is not a small thing, standing in this energy of this peace and finally making peace with all of this, really allows you the last part of this healing journey, and really allows you to see into your future what's really possible for you and how you could, it's just this incredible sense of freedom. It's wonderful. So this is what we have for you, Pile 1. Very, very important, very, very passionate and beautiful. And again, the sensuality, using your body in ways that you've never before, and just really getting out there and honoring yourself, you know, from the physical and also the metaphysical, any way that you want to, knowing any way that you move in direction, you're going to be supported and you're going to be fine. So it's a new level of clicking into your intuition too, which you've already learned how to do, but this is a new level. This is a magical making time for you. So we are sending so much love and support for exactly who you are. Go be your beautiful self, absolutely. And of course, if you are interested in having more of these readings, please feel free. We would love to have you subscribe. Hit that bell icon too, so you always know when a new video is uploaded. And of course, hit that like button. Until we meet again, Pile 1, take care. Hello, beautiful Pile 2s. So your gift, here we are. Which gift box has a message for you? Your gift box is the unicorns. They have a message for you. And what new gifts are being revealed to you now? Let's get right into your beautiful reading. So you have Water Wheel, End of Struggle. Wonderful. Moving into a brand new energy field here, which is in the collective, so I'm not surprised about that at all. Let's get you some more specifics because we haven't really answered your question yet. Purification. My energy field is being cleansed of all that I do not need. Absolutely wonderful. We're just going to get you some more cards and then we're gonna read them for you. So bear with us for just a second here. And this one's Soulmates. Wonderful. So that's part of your gift coming in. And then you have the root chakra. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on the physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. Beautiful. So you've got something in common with Pile 1. Not surprised. That's the energy in the collective right now of coming back to your version of self, which is your absolute claimed version of self, and coming back into your own energy. Because a lot of you have been, oh, you've got All Souls. Yeah, life is meant to be enjoyed. So there's been a lot of work that you guys have been doing, right? You've been very involved in this spiritual movement of working through your own energy, and some of it has been voluntary and some of it you've been sort of in the activations. Things have come up and you've been in this whirlwind of, you know, sort of left, right, up, front, back, left, whatever, you know, sort of all over the place. But there was a map that you were following and you understood it. But there's been a lot of sort of ups and downs in energies and really trying to sort of understand where this plateau is for you. And also you're at this point where you can finally see sort of the end point of this. And there is an end point. for you coming into your own energy and really acknowledging you're on the physical plane now of your energy moving forward. You're on the physical plane of really understanding that whatever is in and around you, the energy that's in and around you, it's ready to step into. You're ready to step up into something bigger. For a lot of you, you've been feeling as though as everything's been falling away. And some of you, it's been falling apart. Some of you have had these tower moments, not all of you, and you've all dealt with it differently, doing the best that you can. Well done. But it's been overwhelming with all of the stuff that's been coming up. So it's for some of you that it's been a little bit frustrating, and we've talked about this void before, but it's not even necessarily a void for you, Pal 2. It's just being able to see something, clarify it for you, and move into it. Move into the energy of the new. Every time something new sort of came up, the energy was to stay where you are and keep moving through what you were doing. And that got a little frustrating for you because there is an energy of you. This is real sort of kinetic energy within you that's sort of moving forward and is wanting to see that in the external. So this purification means that you've reached this plateau, which is a very exciting time for you to be able to bring in this energy that you've been working with and be able to see it tangibly in the external world. And that's a really, really important time for you because it means that you've really solidified sort of your I was going to say your fruit chakra, that too. But you've really, because you know, even with the fruit, that's kind of important. Eating what you want, celebrating, getting to the point where you're celebrating and you know that everything's gonna work out. Now, you had this on some level where you felt as though things were going to work out, sure, but this is about actually, again, seeing it in the physical world and seeing new things show up in the physical world. And some of you have been looking, I've been doing all of this work, where is the tangible aspects of it? Where can I see it in the world? And it starts to show up and it doesn't sort of have the right energy behind it, or you think it doesn't, and it falls flat or something happens. So you've been in this cycle of just working with yourself, which has been, it's been quite a cycle. So to get here, new versions of timelines opening up, soulmates coming in, a real coming together of the divine masculine, the divine feminine, rooted into your own root chakra here, which means that you have the confidence to choose what it is you want. Now, some of this was that you worked on yourself so much that you could see every different possibility. Now, this is a gorgeous thing to be able to do. You have hindsight, right? You have 20/20 vision, maybe not physically, a lot of you probably do, but in spirituality, you have it. You have the 20/20 hindsight, right? And that's wonderful, but it also can be sort of a hindrance because everything that you put your energy into initially, you can see it playing out, which is absolutely incredible. But in order to take it to the next level, you need to have some more energy behind it. And there's too many ideas going in at the same time. So this is a way for you to sort of plateau in a way and figure out which ones are going to be better for you. Because honestly, you can do them all, right? But in order for you want something big to come in, Pal 2. You just want something big. So the way in which you're going to achieve something big is going to be really easy for you. You're going to have to pick one or two and go with that. Now, the other ideas that you had can come in as an amalgam form at some point and really help solidify what you've got in one or two, but you have to choose the one, or you have to choose the one or the two ideas that would be better for you to put all of your energy into one thing right now, even if it's an amalgam of slightly different things, but put your energy into that one thing and have it take off. So this is the way that you can see which thing is much more in line with where you're going in the future, but also you know that you can pull off now. And these are not small things. These are magical things that you want to achieve, and you can do them. You can absolutely do them, but it's about putting your energy behind them. And again, being able to choose which one you want to do is something that for a lot of you didn't have. Because you had the hindsight, you put your energy into 4 or 5 different things, and then you were disappointed when all of those 4 or 5 different things got to a certain place, but they didn't get as far as you wanted them to go. And that's just because there wasn't enough energy. You were separating your energy between all of those. So put all of your energy in one thing. Now you're able to see what that one thing is. So your gift is really incredible. It's the gift of solidifying your foresight, which is really, really important. Now you're only able to get to this level because you've done all the work that you've done. And this purification element is coming in. So as you do this, this is really important, pal, too. And as always, take whatever we say, listen to your intuition, take the information, don't necessarily take it as gold, but, you know, have it filter through your own personal, whatever it is that you're going through, your own personal life. But it's really important that everything around you, all of the energy around you, it really solidifies where you're going. So for a lot of you, you've done so much work that people and situations are just falling away. So if you initially put your energy into something and it falls away pretty quickly, that's the universe telling you that that's not quite aligned with where you want to be. There's something bigger for you. So don't even think about it. Don't spend your time worrying about where you're supposed to be or how that was supposed to happen. Move on to the next thing, because everything's happening at lightning speed for you right now. You don't have time to kind of figure out what didn't go wrong or try to make that work. If it's not aligned with your energy right now and it falls away, that's it. Same with friendships. Don't chase anything right now. It's not a good time for you to chase necessarily, because everything is out there for you. It's really important for you to attune your energy into what you want and to make sure that everything around you matches that energy. And if it doesn't, cut those cords. You just get them out of there, because the universe is, and it sounds really sort of brutal in a way, but these are situations and people that weren't really working anyway, right? And the universe is looking for a gap. The universe is working with you, trying to get you to the next level and absolutely working up for you. But if your energy is full, or if your energy that you're putting out there is surrounded by old energy, there's only so much they're going to be able to do. And also they want to fill that new energy coming in with new people. You've got soulmates coming in, you've got soul family coming in. If you're holding on to the old, there's no room for them. So this step is quite bold in a way, and it might have overwhelmed you a little while ago, but it's not going to in this instance, because you're ready for it. Because you've been spinning your wheels. A lot of you have been spinning your wheels, like trying to make this work in the external world. You're absolutely ready for it. It's about how you focus your energy and believing in everything. 2 steps in, 2 feet in everything that you're doing. And again, with that energy of hindsight that you have, you're going to be aligned with the right thing for you. Now, we're not saying if you have 10 different ideas, get rid of the 10 different ideas. Not at all. All of those, in fact, we're saying the opposite. All of those ideas are absolutely brilliant, and they'll be able to they'll be able to be brought in at some point to solidify your original idea. But pick something that works for you. And if you've been confused about how to move forward, this is probably what's going on. Ending the way that you were doing things, ending that struggle a little bit. And it wasn't that you were so far off and you didn't know what you were doing. You were so close to how you were going to make this work. That's why it was frustrating, because you could feel that it was so close, but there wasn't all those pieces of the jigsaw together. But actually the jigsaw was there and it was done, but you weren't seeing it in its totality. You were just seeing parts of the jigsaw puzzle come together, right? So this is a very exciting time for you. Now, each and every one of you will be working with this energy completely different. You'll have something in line with what you want to do. Now, if there's some of you out there that are like, I have 10 different things that I want to do, again, click into that energy of hindsight, click into what you're most aligned with right now, and you sit with that energy, and that is the energy that you move with. And make sure that everything in and around you is matched to that energy as you move forward. So, and bring in that joy, because you've been really concentrating on this process, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you tend to over focus sometimes, and then you don't really allow in the joy and the lightheartedness to come in there too. Once you're really aligned and you move through this process a little bit differently than you did, again, nothing big, just tweaking your perspective just a little bit, what it allows for, which is absolutely incredible, is that space to come in, that joy for you to enjoy the process, enjoy what you do. And also it allows for that space for the universe to meet you halfway and deliver what it is that you want. Right? So don't worry, you didn't miss out on anything before, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, this is moving into whatever it is that you want to do. And again, this is big. This is big. So, and there's, you know, these are general readings. This is going to be different for some of you. Like we said, you know, soul family, soulmates, counterparts coming in, a firmly rooted root chakra, which was something that you've been working on. Again, trusting yourself, trusting your energy. So we have purification. You have the 9 of Pentacles. So that you literally cannot go wrong here. I love the Nine of Pentacles coming in. So you've gone beyond the time of trying to look for the external to give you validation or to give you an instinct of, because that's what you were doing before. Is this the right thing for me? What are my signs? Now, there's nothing wrong with asking the universe for signs. Go be it. But if you're putting out a certain amount of energy and waiting for signs for that to take off and it's not, then obviously you're moving on. So you're not relying on these signs that weren't coming in anymore. You're not relying on the external. You know that you're delivering this aligned action for yourself, and then the universe will show up for you. So this path is guaranteed for you. This foresight is guaranteed for you. You've got the Chariot under in the struggle. You're done with the way that you were doing things. And again, you know, don't get overwhelmed with this information. Please don't. This is a tiny tweak in perspective. You've been working up to this element. It's almost like, I have all my ducks in a row. I just don't know how to make them swim, you know? And this is just giving you this idea. Again, take all this information and filter it through your own system, how it's going to work for you individually. But this is absolutely something that you can do without a shadow of a doubt. That's really easy. And you've got the Page of Pentacles with life is meant to be enjoyed. Absolutely moving with that energy, because it's difficult when you have this kinetic energy, this passionate energy, and you're moving forward. And you were absolutely convinced that that's what you were supposed to do, right? And then it kind of falls flat. And then you start questioning everything, including yourself, your own intuition, your trust, everything. And you've had a couple of these cycles. So it's knocked the wind out of you a little bit. But there's no reason for that to happen. Trust your instincts, trust your insights. It's just that you didn't have the foresight to see exactly down the road. And actually, we want to remind you, to reiterate, that if it didn't take off, the universe is protecting you from going down a route that would not in any way, shape or form have been bad for you, not at all. But it's not quite what you're meant to do. And the universe doesn't want you anywhere that you're not really meant to do. They want you absolutely in your energy and having that magical life that you want, the way that you want it. So they want you to step up into that energy. And this would have ended up being settling. So you would have gotten into this energy, and later on you would have been like, oh, this is okay, but now I want this and I want that. And they don't want you to waste your time. You're on an accelerated timeline. You're on an accelerated path right now. They don't want you to waste your time in any way. So if anything fell flat, let's just say, just to be clear, it wasn't good enough for you. It wasn't enough for you. And the universe wants to deliver something more. You've got the Nine of Pentacles coming. You've got the Chariot. You're ready to go. So you've got the energy behind you. It's just a matter of moving forward. So you've got the Five of Cups for the soulmates. And for the root chakra, you've got the Five of Rods. So this is beautiful with the fives here. So you're no longer really looking for the external to validate in any way. And now you didn't really do this in a way that, you know, you needed other people's opinions of you. You didn't really care for other people's opinions of you. This is very specific to you, pal, too. It just, again, you looked for signs, for things that were going on. If people were projecting upon you, or you know, the external wasn't mirroring where you think you should be, you took it to heart as a sign that you shouldn't be doing that. And that's not exactly what was going on. What was happening is that you were feeling really bad about what wasn't working out. And then that denser energy of not feeling so good about yourself opened you up to some kind of criticism out into the world. But the criticism wasn't directly correlated with you not having, you know, your crap together, your shit together, pardon my French. Not at all. It was just that sometimes you can be so hard on yourself. And when you're hard on yourself, that energy goes out there and other people are hard on you too. But you weren't looking for validation from the external world, but you were looking to check in with that energy. You paid attention to that energy in the external world in a very specific way. And if the energy was negative, you took it as a sign that that's not the way that you should be moving. Again, that's not the way that it is. It's just an indication when people are projecting upon you, or you're getting some criticism from various different directions in the external world. Check your own energy. You're not believing in yourself. You're being too hard on yourself, and that's the energy that you're putting out and you're mirroring. It's not at all true. And all of the criticisms and all the projections, the actuality of what they're saying is not true in any way, shape, or form. It's just mirroring the energy that you're giving yourself and you're putting out into the universe. So if you're feeling as though, oh, this is happening, I'm getting a little bit of projection, I'm getting a little bit of this, check in with your energy and elevate your energy. Come back to your source, connect to your higher self, connect to your source, connect to universe, connect to your God. It's all the same. And say, I need to come back about feeling good about myself. Wherever I am is exactly where I need to be. I'm protected. I am guided. Everything is fine. I'm brilliant. I'm beautiful. All the things that you do, each and every one of you has an individual way of working with your own energy, right? But if you've got that energy in and around you, don't think for a second that this means that you're not in the right direction. It's an indication that, the universe is pulling it back to you as a mirror, because they don't want you to be hard on yourself. You can be so hard on yourself sometimes, right? No matter what, there's energy in and around you that even if it seems like everything's fallen apart, there's always hope. So they always want you to come back to that hope and that beauty. But this is a cycle that you're moving out of, which is very exciting, because that hindsight, again, is clicking you into that beautiful energy that you have, and being able to choose the right alignment for you in this movement forward. And once you choose it, and you choose it for yourself, and you can declare it in any way, shape, or form to the universe, you will be moving forward, and whatever it is that you concentrate on will be a success. Again, don't throw away any other of those beautiful elements that you've got. They will be coming in too. You'll be able to utilize them later on, but really click into something that you're passionate about, that you absolutely know this is the right thing for you. So the gift of hindsight, this is the last piece of the puzzle for you, really. Again, the puzzle was always there, but you were over-focusing on the puzzle as you sort of came out of that to see the macro version of it, the more objective version, to be able to see the puzzle in its totality. That's when everything clicks in. Before, you were just seeing elements of the puzzle. Well, I thought I got this done. Yeah, the right side of the puzzle is done. The left side of the puzzle is done. Why isn't this working? Well, that's it, over-focusing. This part of what you're doing right now with your energy allows you not to over-focus, which is really great, because once that joy comes in, you're going to elevate that energy. Again, sometimes, you worked too hard. You over-focused on what you were doing and took it upon yourself that you had to do all of this energy and put all of this energy into it, excuse me, and all of this work. Now, we're not saying that aligned action isn't needed, but you overwork the situation. If you've ever worked with Play-Doh or even pastry, if you overwork it, it's kind of done. That's what you were doing. This is an element of you coming back to center, where you don't overwork anymore. Aligned action creates this space and this beauty where you can enjoy the process. Life is to be enjoyed. You got over-focused on the result. So, the process is brilliant. There's a little bit of real talk for you here, Paul, too. But, really enjoying the process opens you up to building that energy as you move forward. So that kinetic energy really builds, and you can have this incredible sort of life, really, at the end of the day. So you've got the Three of Cups, absolutely gorgeous, and you've got the Four of Pentacles. So move in this direction. You've got the support that you need. Start slowly. That's the other thing, start slowly, but at the same time, allow for this energy to get kinetic, to move forward and pick up in energy. If sometimes when you put your energy out there, if you're not a success in 3 days, you're like, well, that's it. I'm done. I'm putting in the towel. You don't allow it some time to really get out there and solidify. That's the other thing too. But that's because you can be really hard on yourself and you're still looking for external ways to see that this is working for you. If you're in line with what you want to do, you've got the foresight, you've got the joy, you've got the space, you really can see the process is really fun, and you can actually feel it picking up momentum, and it gets very exciting for you. This is something that you've not done before, or a way in which you've worked in its totality before. And again, you've got the soulmate, you've got soul family coming in, you've got celebrations coming in, opening you all up to a new way of being. This could include, new people in and around you. So a move or somewhere that brings you new people around you, a new job, a new circumstance where you have a new group of people around you, and they're all incredible. This is incredible support. These people seeing you for exactly who you are, the counterpart seeing you for exactly who you are, and feeling and supported in a way that you've not really felt before, at least not to this degree. And that's coming in for you too, provided, of course, that there's room for them to let go of everything that isn't working, even if it's almost. You've had a lot of lifetimes of almost. This is for you to gain and have exactly what you want in this lifetime without you settling on any degrees. We don't want you to have a life of almost. Almost can be great. There's nothing wrong with almost. It's better than nothing, right? And it's up higher on the ladder for you than you've had before. But we want magic for you. We don't want almost. And this is right there for you with the Chariot. Just tweak that sense of perception. Make sure you've got everything around you that's mirroring who you are. Be very careful about your energy. If things seem to be slowing up, do try your very best to alchemize and transmute that dark energy that you have about yourself, because you can really be hard on yourself, because that transmutes outwards and then gives you these wrong impressions and ideas about how far you've come. You can actually be doing really well, but based on the energy that's coming in, you think you're not doing that well. That's not it at all. So don't vet any of the ideas about whatever's coming in from the universe. That's not how it is. So really start honoring yourself, honoring where you're going, enjoying the process, not being hard on yourself, and coming back to you. But yeah, lots of changes, lots of shifts and many different directions, but also the energy in the right direction, choosing what it is that you want, putting your energy behind it. Whatever you're choosing for yourself, you know that you're going to be good at it. You know you've got it. There's a little bit of doubt there. That's just normal. Work through it. Don't pay any attention to it. It's perfectly normal to have some kind of doubt, or as you're stepping up into this role, to have a little bit of doubt, or a little bit, even one of those sort of spiritual crisis. Am I really able to do this? That's all perfectly normal. Everybody goes through it, no matter how successful they are. You just work through it the way in which you need to work through it, but don't you dare let that get in the way of what you're doing. So this is what we have for you, Pal 2. Very exciting time. We are sending you so much love and support for exactly who you are and where you are. And of course, if you're interested in having more of these beautiful readings in your life 3 times a week, and you have not subscribed, do subscribe if you feel that inclination, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a reading. And of course, press the like button too, because that helps out the channel too. Would be very much appreciated. We are sending you extra love. Go be you, and be out in the world, and don't you dare be hard on yourself again. And until we meet again, take care, Pal 2. Beautiful Pal 3s, last but not least. So you picked the self-love pile. So which gift box has a message for you? The love pile, the love box, we would say. And what new gift is being revealed to you? Let's get right into your reading. Well, hello, love. That's incredible. We'll get you some more information about that too. So what new gift is being revealed to you? Love. And you've got impeccability. I am impeccable in my thought, word, and deed. Absolutely. Gorgeousness here. And then let's get some unicorn love in here too. What have we got? Pipe dream. Dreams become reality. Gorgeous. That came up in Pal 2 also. Yay. Let's do one of these here, and then we'll come up with, we'll channel some of these messages. I just want to get them. Oh, the waterfall, silver waterfall, which is absolutely gorgeous. So really cleansing from the old for this new plateau to be able to come in. Dreams of reality. Absolutely. And then this one, allowance. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. Wonderful. And we've got the number 9 here. So we've got 36 here. That might mean something to some of you. Now, the first thing is, so the allowance card is kind of the beautiful thing here. So your gift is love, without a shadow of a doubt, but it's a new version of love. And this is very, very important. So being able to move in the direction that you want, you know, really sort of this phoenix from the ashes version of you, coming up with everything, cleansing from the old in a way that you can tangibly see that your life is completely different. Now, a lot of you have been working so hard on your spirituality and the inner version of you, and for the first time you can see how now all of this is absolutely wonderful and it's all necessary, right? But unless we click into our brains and we make all of this actually work, so our neurons are firing differently, and we've transcended the old sort of loops in our minds, the way in which we've been programmed. All of this work that we've done, the spiritual work, is wonderful, but we can still succumb to a lot of the programming that we have. And we're seeing that out in the world too. A lot of people are ascending, doing some great stuff, but they're still stuck in some of the old programming. Perfectly fine. Everybody has their own way of doing this. This is not a better or a worse way of doing it. However, you've come to the other side of that. All the work that you've been doing, you've really clicked into that energy, and love has really expanded all of this too. So you actually have done, not only have you done the work, but you've come to this sort of precipice point, and it's a really important point, where you've actually released this programming, right? So when you release the programming, you don't see the world in the same way. It's completely different, and you can see how you've been working before, which was not bad. There's no bad or good here. You worked the way that you did at the time because you needed to. That's exactly where you were. It was perfect. You needed to be there to sort through karma, all sorts of things, experiences, perfectly normal to be there. This was not a healing journey that needed to be rushed in any way. This was an incremental healing journey. You healed properly, right? You did this. You didn't rush through it. There was none of this avoidment in any way, but saying, you know, I've got this. No, you were doing it. You were the one. You never said, I've got this. There was, in fact, a whole part of you was like, I haven't got this. I've got to go back and do more. If anything, you've done enough at this point. That's not to say that we're not constantly sort of regrouping and working through things one way or another. Certainly, sure. But at some point we get to say, I'm done. I've done it, right? And this is your point where you get to say, I'm done. I've done it. Now, if things come up, they need to be released. You'll figure them out as they do it, as they come up, as energy comes up. But you don't have to worry about that. All of that is just coming up for it to be released pretty much quickly straight away. So this is something that's really incredible. So we talked about hindsight in Pal 2, and you've got a little bit of that, but your gift is really love. Because you can move into a new version of love and being loved that you've never been able to do before. And the way in which you were working kept you there. Now, it didn't keep you trapped per se, but it kept you protected. And there's a reason why you did that. And it was very important you did it this way. So don't you dare be hard on yourself. As you were working through all of this healing that you've done from the inside out incrementally, you needed to protect your energy. Because you love unconditionally and you have this empathic, beautiful soul, and people have taken advantage. So as you were doing this, you were sort of wide open in a way. You know, your wounds were out there. So you needed to protect them from the world so people didn't come at you. Because if they did, you may not have healed the way that you would have done. It wouldn't have been such a successful healing. So you sort of came out of the world a little bit. Some of you've got that hermit energy, but you had to put up those protections. You had to put up those walls. Now, a lot of people say, you know, don't put up those walls when you do that. And that's fine. For them, maybe they didn't need the walls. For you, you needed those walls. It really allowed you to heal completely. It was a way for you to protect yourself. And that's the way that you needed to do it. And it was a beautiful way for you to do this really, really deep healing that was very, very vulnerable, right? And it wasn't the right time for you to be vulnerable out in the world. The odd time that you've been vulnerable out in the world, it maybe didn't go so well, or you weren't around the right people who could have given you that help, or just seen you for who you are. And that's been a painful existence too. However, we're not even going to harp on that, because this moves you to this new plateau, moves you to this new area of love. Now, you've had to learn boundaries too. This is something that you also weren't very good at, because even though you were very protected, you still had this open, beautiful heart. So boundaries you've had to learn, and some of you've had to learn those the hard way. And again, it's been painful, but you've learned them. Right? The universe has stepped up and they've shown you this. So you've absolutely learned them. So you have boundaries, you have correct boundaries. You also know how to articulate yourself within those boundaries. Sometimes you would wait until something got really, really horrible and then it was a dramatic ending and that was your boundary. You don't have to do that anymore. And if that's where you were, that's where you were. At least it was done, right? That was the most important thing. Now you can articulate yourself from a place of strength and a place of power, which is wonderful. I don't really think that way. That's not how I believe, but I honor where you're coming from. Thank you very much. And remove yourself from that energy. Don't need to really be around this right now, but I appreciate where you're coming from. Thank you for letting me into your little world. Thank you, but not for me. There's so many different ways you can handle this, but still keep your energy without having to give it away. Whereas before you were bowled over by other people's energy and they sense that on you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the bowling over was a nice process, or the people that were bowling into your energy really had a clue about what they were doing or were grounded in their own energy. There was bully energy, really, you know. So, you know, you don't need to do that. You don't have that bully energy. You know who you are, and the right people will come in and around you. And again, no disrespect to the bully energy. We all come from we all have different universes within us with so many different reasons why we act a certain way. And some people are really forthright about who they are and their beliefs and this, that, and the other. And people who really have integrated who they are really don't need to, they just stand for them. They don't really need to, push them on. They can just be where they are, and it just kind of falls into place. And this is where you are too. And this is about getting the life that you want. You're actually here to be loved. You're here to be loved in this lifetime in a way that you've never been loved, and you're here to love in a way that you've never loved before. And this is in your early existence in this lifetime and in past lifetimes too. You've held yourself back from the understanding of how love can be truly beautiful. And some of you have even associated love with pain. For various different readings, various different reasons. And this is a general reading, so each and every one of you will know if that pertains to you, that part of it. So love has been kind of an interesting journey. Now, you've had some great people around you. It's not just, it's tragic and whatever. We don't want to paint that picture. You've had these incredible people around you that have loved you and even desired you and wanted to be in and around you. But they've been around, sort of speckled throughout your life. And the universe, your guides put them there because without those guides, without those people in your life, those anchors in your life, life would have been unbearable for some of you, to be perfectly honest, a little bit of real talk. So you had to have those mirrors of love in and around so that you could just see what they were. But even then, you kept everybody sort of at a little bit of arm's length. You let them in, you certainly did, but you're ultra independent. You want to do things your own way. The idea of letting everybody in full on was kind of just really scary for you. So this is a way that you can let everybody in unconditionally. It's absolutely beautiful, and really honor yourself and honor where you're going and honor everything that you've been through. And again, we mentioned this with the foresight, being able to see your entire journey and just sort of claim it in this way and be open to a new sense of reality. The way in which you see the world again is completely different. You can really see through all these sort of steps and stones that people are still struggling with. You can see how it all works out. I mean, for want of a better terms, you can see completely through the matrix. And we get a lot of this where everybody's like, oh, I see completely through the matrix, but they're still stuck in this, that, and the other. So they're not completely seeing it the way in which they think they're seeing it, but they are awake, which is wonderful. And again, everybody's moving through it in their own time and whatever, give everybody space to do it. But you are actually completely on the other side of that, where you've done that inner healing. You've already woken up from the matrix, for again, want of a better term. And also you can see everything in its totality, and you've worked through these systems. So your neurons are firing completely differently. You're not physically attached to any of these programs anymore. You've released these programs, which means that you're completely free. You're completely free to love. You're completely free to allow. You can move in any different direction, as we say on this channel, moving spherically in any different direction, being flexible, in complete alignment in a new way that you've never done before. And this is extremely exciting. It's not limited in any way. So this came out straight away. The Empress, I mean, that just popped out. So you've got this energy. This is a brand new way of seeing and feeling. It also is a brand new way of you using your energy. It's also important that you watch the energy that's in and around you. Really important right now. And the way in which you do that will be up to you, because there's a lot of energy out there that's, we see through the matrix, but they're still caught in a lot of the sort of systems. And again, that's perfectly fine, but you don't necessarily, you want to steer clear of that energy too, because the promise of being woke is sort of, for them, achieved, and for you it isn't, and it's going to pull you back into energy that you don't need to be around. So just sort of watch that, and you'll be able to feel it when there's energy in and around. When you see this, something on YouTube and it says, the title sounds really intriguing and incredible, check in with the person's energy. Within a couple of seconds, you'll be like, not for me. And again, this is not being rude about where that person is or anything like that. Everybody's moving through it, and everybody has, especially starseeds, everybody has sort of a role to play. So their role is stepping up in this power and this energy and encompassing X, Y, and Z. And they're helping a bunch of people through that existence of it too. So again, we can't judge where anybody is, because we can't judge from the small aspects of how it is. We got to see it from the bigger part of it, because they're playing their part, and they're really important. If that part isn't there, then we don't have the totality of everything moving forward. So yeah, no judgment, just looking at everything, but really listen to that energy. Even if it sounds like it would be great, but the energy and you're like, this isn't really working for me. Pull out of it. Pull out of it, because it's really important to keep your energy intact, because people who are still working sort of outside of the matrix to a certain degree, but still have that programming, still has to, they need to do all of that work. That's fine. They're going to do it on their own terms. But you need to be clear of that work. You've already done that work. And there's a part of your beautiful soul that sort of believes that the work is never done. So there might be an aspect of you, there's still something that I can learn from this. And we're not saying that you wouldn't learn something from that, but the energy of it is already something that you've transmuted. So bringing yourself back to that will click into this old energy that you have of, there's still more for me to learn, there's still more for me to figure out. And also you'll get back into that energy of polarity and things like that, which you've achieved in transmuting. Why would you go back to it, right? So just be careful of that. And again, really listen to your aligned energy. Even if everything on the surface seems like it's empowering and beautiful, listen to your energy. There's brilliant people out there who are already on the stages that you are at, without a shadow of a doubt. And you'll feel their energy. Listen to that uplifting, beautiful stuff. You want to have the energy in and around you of exactly where you are. Because it's important to stay at that phase, because in the past you've pulled yourself back in other ways, because you would have achieved some kind of instance, and you would have gotten to a certain place, and then you would have looked around and said, oh, nobody's really here right now. So then you've done down your energy so you can feel as though you fit in. That's a cycle for you. You've done that in past lives too. This is not a cycle for you to be in anymore. Trust me, all of those people that are catching up, they're transmuting not at a snail's pace. They are transmuting really quickly. So people are catching up to your energy really, really easily and really quickly. So hold on out for where you are. Don't, not really dumb yourself down, but don't go back into old energy that they need to transmute, but you don't, because they're going to be at your energy really, really soon. You want to hold that energy for them as they're getting up there, right? And again, it's not about anybody being above or below, and it's not about achieving more. We often do this in spirituality, where we're achieving this. It's not that. You're releasing so you can see who you are. That's all it is, right? But we've been programmed in this lifetime, in many different lifetimes, hundreds, thousands of years through our DNA. We've been programmed. And as we're waking up, we're still moving through those programs. You have, though. New area of life, judgment, absolutely. So coming into keeping that energy open again, really be cognizant of the energy that's in and around you. Not to really necessarily protect it, because that's the other thing. The shields that you had, the walls that you had can come down now and really allow in this energy of love to this new degree and let it integrate. But it's really important, again, just to keep that energy at bay that doesn't really correlate with where you are right now. Again, just see yourself as, again, not somewhere higher, but somewhere where people are attaining, somebody where energy that people are getting to, and you're holding the space for them so they can get there quicker, and they are moments away, right? So you've got this beautiful energy. Yeah, let's see. And you've got the Wheel of Fortune, gorgeousness, and you've got the Queen of Cups. Absolutely love this. So you've got sorry, that got really loud. So you've got this energy to be able to have the family and the life and the love that you want, to the degree that you want, and the intimacy that you want in a brand new level. And something, again, that you've seen glimpses of, and you know that you are absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, Pile 3. This is not about you not believing that you're capable of. In fact, most of you, if not all of you, know that that's all you're capable of. That's why you've held back from doing it, because when you give your all, you give your all, right? So this is a way for you to step up into this beautiful love, this degree of love that you have been gifted. And as a reminder, there's so many things that you're going to achieve in this lifetime, right? So many different things, but you are here to be loved in this lifetime and to love in this lifetime to a degree that you never have in any other lifetime, to experience it in any other lifetime or that you've ever experienced before in this lifetime, and to have that stability, that family stability, no matter what family looks like to you. And for each and every one of you, because you love so fiercely, you know, blood could mean anything or anyway, it doesn't necessarily mean blood related, right? But once they're into your group, your family, you die for them, right? So however the family looks for each and every one of you, because this is a general reading, but to have that firm essence and have that family life, have that loveliness, you know. For some of you, it may have seemed quite ordinary in the past, and seeing other people who have that, it's like it brings up some, you know, some feelings for you, because this is something that you've not had to the degree that you're going to have. But this is opening up your heart chakra to allow in this love, and again to have that hindsight to be able to be on that beautiful path of being completely aligned with who you are. So you move quickly forward. You can change your life on a dime here, like do a complete 180, because you see everything. You have all the information at your fingertips now, whereas before you didn't. And you really understand the conditioning. And the conditioning for you was really important, because you were very heavily conditioned from your family bloodline about how you thought about success, whether you deserved success, or whether if you had success with some of your family would fall away from you. For some of you, how you felt about money, how you felt about working hard for it, but also there was this lack mentality in your bloodline, which you've been working on, and that would have been echoed in some way in the way in which you were brought up. But you didn't really, it was in your bloodline. You didn't really, you wanted the stars. You knew you could do it, right? So now that all of that has been transmuted, and also you've worked through all of that sort of polarity thinking too. And sometimes it can, you know, there's two ways to do it. There's a right way, or there's a wrong way, this, that, and the other. It can really sort of polarize us in the way in which we move in this world. You've transmuted that energy. Now everything is available for you, and you can use your wisdom. You can use your beauty in a way that you never have before, and you can reach further. Hindsight is further. You can reach further than you ever have before without feeling as though, and for some of you, and this is definitely a past life, you felt as though, you know, when you've stepped up in your power, others have sort of come for you, right? And there might be still echoes of that coming out as you move forward in past lives, but they won't. It's going to be fine. And if still there's energy of that or a little bit of fear of that, check in with your own instances. Remember, check in with how you feel about yourself. I think this came up in Pal too also, because that energy of how you feel about yourself, if you're doubting yourself and you're not feeling secure in who you are, you're emitting that energy out there, and then people are picking up on that energy and then treating you accordingly. So if that's how you're feeling, and it's not like, oh my God, you're causing this, you know, it's all your fault, nothing like that. There's no blame. But if that's what's happening, then really click into your energy of knowing that you deserve what you want. You're standing in your own energy. That energy from the external will dissipate. That just might be echoes from the past life. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't still keep in your power and you shouldn't still stay in your power. It really isn't. It just means that there's just a little bit of energy that just needs to be transmuted around that. But this is about your own power, your own articulation, the way in which you move. Again, very, very quickly, honoring your heart, honoring your emotions, honoring your emotionality, using your emotionality to move yourself forward. Again, clicked into that incredible intuition that you have. And these ideas that you're coming up with too, a lot of you are having these kind of big ideas. Cool ideas. Don't necessarily know how to pull it off right now. Doesn't matter. Those big ideas are coming at you for a reason. As you open up to all the resources of the world, the resources will come to you. These big ideas are there for you to act upon them. So jot them down for now. Keep them with you. It's not about, it's about taking aligned action for you. It's not about pushing anymore. It's about having that receptive magnetic energy, but moving in that direction of that aligned energy. So the big ideas are coming up. And also the dream that you have for yourself is wonderful. It's wonderful, and you'll achieve it. There's no rhyme or reason to that. You're in a position to be able to do that. And of course you'll have the love behind you being able to do that too. This degree of love that you've never had before opens you up in ways that you have no idea. It's really, really incredible and heart-rendering and gorgeousness. But also there's other things that you're going to achieve in this lifetime that you didn't really think. that you're going to, that they're going to be kind of a surprise, and they're going to be really fun, and you're not going to be able to figure it out. It's going to be like if you had said that I would be doing X, Y, and Z in 2 years time and I would be a success at it, I would have laughed in your face. It's going to be one of those situations. So don't try and figure out what it is, right? Because a lot of you, because you were healing in such a way, you had everything, I want to achieve this, I want to do this, and you had everything planned out, right? And again, it was very sort of tight in that way, and it didn't really allow for the universe to deliver something whimsical and something different. And now that you know that you can achieve all of that stuff, it opens you up to other things that you didn't even consider that you could really achieve, but you're able to be in a position to be able to do that. And more importantly, on the physical realm, you're here to have the support to be able to do it. Incredible support from family and friends, people that you're bringing in. Not all of them you have met yet, but all of them when you meet this soul family and other people and significant others coming in also, or a new level of intimacy and beauty and love with significant others and people that are already in and around you. That's happening too for a lot of you. But you will know them from past lives. They will feel like home immediately. And it's not a case of having to build this relationship. It's literally taking up from your lifetimes before. It's going to be very exciting and really beautiful. There's no direction that you cannot move in. And again, just stay in your own energy and keep open to that love that you have. Allow in, for some of you, it's going to feel a little weird as those walls and those shields come down, because you needed them before for protection. You don't anymore. And for some of you, you're moving through that transmuting stage where you're realizing that a lot of those, the more shields and the more walls that come down, the more you stand in your power and you realize you don't need it anymore. And the more foresight you have to be able to see through all these programmings and how they affected you. And then you start seeing the world in a different way. You're actually a lot more positive. Before, you were so practical that it actually got a little bit dark, right? But now you can actually afford to be lighter, bring in the joy, see the beauty, see the magic, believe in the magic. Before it was you did definitely believe in magic, but you had to be pragmatic. You had to have your 2 feet on the ground. You had things to do. Now you could believe in the magic and actually make that work. So this is a complete opening up for you in the heart space in a way that you've not had before. And it's extremely powerful. And you've never been here before. So honor where you are, honor where you've been, and keep up with that transmuting energy and just stay in alignment with who you are, and all these opportunities are going to come in for you. It's just the Empress, just stay in your own power. You've absolutely got this. So that's what we have for you, Pal 3. Really so excited for you without a shadow of a doubt. Sending you so much love, wisdom, and support for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. And of course, if you like these readings, and you have not joined us yet, please feel free to subscribe. We would love to have you. Hit that bell icon so you never miss a reading, and of course hit that like button. It really does help out the channel, and it is much appreciated. Until we meet again, sweet, dear, beautiful, open-hearted Pal 3, take care. Bye-bye.